So let me tell you the story of Velotics and how they were able to reduce their inventory levels while increasing on-time delivery and improving customer satisfaction. It started, as so many solutions do, from a problem. After losing three key accounts due to late delivery, Sylvie, the supply chain manager, attempted to do materials requirement planning, or MRP, by hand. But it was based on overly optimistic forecasts, and the company ended up with too much material that had to be sold for a loss. Mike, the CEO, has ordered Sylvie to reduce excess inventory by no less than 25% this year in order to protect working capital. Knowing the task was too complex for manual MRP and spreadsheets, Sylvie decided to implement demand-driven materials requirement planning, or DDMRP, using S4HANA. It has been a difficult couple of years for Sylvie, who spends a lot of time in crisis mode, working with suppliers, procurement, and warehouse people to gather additional materials for unexpected demand. Sylvie's long days are stressful, and she's working weekends just to catch up. As Sylvie walks in the door this morning, she runs into Mike, who lets her know that Velotics just got a big order from Big Mart that they need quickly. Mike asks Sylvie to make it happen and fast and report back when it's done. The pressure is on Sylvie to deliver for this high-profile order. In the past, it would take Velotics days just to assess if they had or could acquire the proper materials because warehouse and production were on different systems. But Velotics recently implemented S4HANA and set up a DDMRP process with buffers. Today will be the first test of how well the new system will work. Sylvie sits down at her desk and immediately opens S4HANA and the Fiori Launchpad, which you see here. S4HANA has been set up for Sylvie's job role, and she has immediate access to everything she needs from this easy-to-use interface to manage the entire supply chain. Sylvie gets started by taking a look at her DDMRP dashboard in this app called Planner Overview. From this dashboard, Sylvie gets a high-level overview of material status now that the Big Mart sales order has hit the system. What you see here is the information that is generated after completing the one-time process of setting up buffers for each product. The system has calculated all the factors for delivering the Big Mart bikes on time, including part types, lead time, and some supply-demand variability. All told, calculating buffers for unexpected demand for each step of the production process is incredibly complex. A buffer must take into consideration all necessary materials, the capacity of the machine or people, and the time necessary to create each item. An intelligent ERP can do in minutes what would take Sylvie several days. In this first column, Sylvie sees the system is reporting three buffer deviations. This simply means that all the materials necessary to complete current and anticipated orders in the system are not available in-house. The next two columns give her more detail about the materials related to the buffer. In the far right column, you see that now that the Big Mart order has hit the system, that Velotics is now short on safety stock for 8 different materials. In the middle column, you see that 2 stock buffers are now below the reorder point. By managing the buffer deviation in column 1, the system will calculate all stock, capacity, and time buffers and suggest a proposal for not only preparing Velotics for the Big Mart order, but also ensuring they can deliver on the other orders in the system. Sylvie can go directly from this dashboard to make the necessary changes. The intelligent ERP has generated a proposal according to the DDMRP rules that Sylvie established to ensure an optimal level of inventory. Sylvie needs to acquire more materials, but not too many. In the middle of your screen, you can see here that it shows historic stock usage and proposed usage for the buffer for the bike frame. The buffer is defined by product, plant, and optionally MRP area. You can also see here the suggested buffer changes in numbers and graphics. Sylvie can adopt the proposal right now or drill down to see details and then adopt or override the proposal. She wants to drill down because she wants to make sure the new system has considered all the details, so she clicks the right arrow to see more information. Under these four tabs on the right, the system shows why it suggested this buffer change. She can see the detail on lead times for stock daily consumption of materials, lead times by part, a text summary of the proposal, and SAP makes it very easy to read and digest with graphics. Sylvia can look at all of this data in several different formats, including different charts and tables. Gathering this information without S4HANA required many phone calls and manual calculations. Now it is all done for her in seconds, and Sylvia is very happy. She clicks the back button, selects the proposal, and clicks Adopt. Based on the proposals that she just adopted, Sylvia is now ready to do the replenishment planning to ensure Velotix is prepared for existing and anticipated orders. In this next step, she generates the replenishment orders for those buffers where the net flow position is below top of yellow. The number on the column shows the number of material types for each net flow position that is less than the top of the yellow. Sylvie clicks the Replenishment Planning app in the center, which will show the replenishment planning proposals. This screen shows that there are two buffers for which the net flow position is below top of yellow. Remember, top of the yellow is ideal for current and anticipated demand. The list is sorted by planning priority, and the color of the number in the planning priority column shows if the net flow position is in the yellow or the red zone. The proposed quantity column shows the amount of materials needed to fill the stock to the top of the yellow. If demand increases, the system will calculate when a shortage will occur and change the color to red, which alerts Sylvie immediately that additional materials are necessary. This is the level of granularity of data that is necessary to buy just the right amount of materials and not too much. And the system does the calculations for Sylvie. Sylvie can now click Expedite Supply if she needs to change the planned availability date for existing procurement elements. Fortunately, this order does not need to be expedited, so Sylvie checks each item and then clicks the Create Trigger to create supply to trigger the procurement process. By selecting this, the planned order will be created to fulfill the proposed quantity. Now Sylvie will run MRP, which will calculate production planning and scheduling and the necessary materials to complete the order based on the buffer proposals that she accepted. Sylvie can run MRP on demand and or on any schedule she deems necessary. Sylvie no longer needs to wait until the end of the week to determine the status of materials and production. That gives her precious days to order and receive materials before a rush is required. After accepting the proposal and ordering new materials for the bike frame, Sylvie will run live MRP to make sure everything is looking good. Once complete, the system will automatically communicate the resulting information to other stakeholders, like the production and procurement managers, and trigger their necessary tasks in order to ensure that this order is done on time. As you can see, it takes a short time for S4HANA to complete even a large MRP run. Sylvie doesn't even have time to grab a cup of coffee. The MRP run is complete, and now Sylvie sees that the replenishment planning app says 0 because the planned receipt for materials have been generated during the MRP run. The last thing that Sylvie must do to initiate the order for BigMart is to tell her intelligent ERP to execute on the replenishment. But she must first tell the system to ignore a rule that she set up when she created her buffers for the MZ FG B1 bike. She removes the rule that she set up to trigger stock purchases only when quantities are below safety stock. She must do this so the system will buy the needed items for the unexpected Big Mart order. A series of problems that would have previously required several days and copious interactions with production, the warehouse, and procurement was completed in minutes. Sylvia opens Copilot, the SAP digital assistant, to update Mike, the CEO, on the resolution. Mike, the necessary adjustments have been made for the Big Mart order, and the additional needed materials will arrive in time to avoid any interruption in production. With the new SAP ERP, I was able to see all the inventory in stock and what is arriving when. And the system gave me a proposal for what we needed to buy without overbuying. I love it.